Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the second podcast and today we are going to be discussing project plans for 2025, overconsumption and DIY and repurposing. So let's get started with today's episode. I'm going to be continuing on with Peggle from last time, and right now as I'm recording this, I am actually DIYing my clothes hangers. I'll be talking more about that and I'll show before and after pictures when I am talking about DIYing and repurposing. So this is a topic that I've wanted to talk about because I think I've come to realize that I do have the mindset and I have way too many things. It took me so much time to realize the actual problem, so it's taking me a while to hold myself back, but I feel like now I'm more conscious about things I get and if I'm gonna use them long term. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to look at everything that I have, like put it out, try to put it in my face as much as possible, because you really forget how much stuff I have, how many art supplies, books, makeup and things like that. You know, when I do that, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything new. I've learned again how to like enjoy the stuff that I have, so I'm really excited to actually use the stuff that I have because, you know, a lot of the stuff that I do have is basically like new. I have started a project plan for 2025, starting off with the things that almost finished. So far, I think it's worked out. I do have a problem with owning too many notebooks, especially when I was a kid, because I'd have like a lot of different things that I wanted to write about and I'd be like, oh yeah, I want, you know, a notebook for each one. You know, I barely even got halfway in any of the notebooks, you know. And now something I've learned from that is I just use one notebook to write everything. Obviously, I still have a good few notebooks and I have a lot from my childhood as well. I'm gonna do a tour of like my desk or like specifically I might do one for notebooks and one for stationery and stickers and stuff like that, because I like talking about my stickers that I have. Like I have a lot of stickers, by the way, if you guys don't know, because I really love them and I actually like use them a lot, but at the same time it's still a bit concerning the amount I do own. So I will be also trying not to get new stickers or any stationery or art supplies or anything, or perfumes or makeup, or literally what I did is, and I'd recommend you guys do this as well, I sat down and I opened my phone and I thought of like things I already have a lot of. So I'd start with books and then I'd be like, oh, I already have a Kindle and I have a lot of unread books. So I'd be like, okay, I shouldn't buy books anymore. And then I do it for like perfume and I'd be like, I have, other than the ones I currently have that aren't finished yet, I have 2 perfumes that are still new. So I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not buying any perfumes till I finish all of those. And you know, the list, you're gonna be so surprised when you do this list because you don't realize. Like I was actually so shocked because, you know, it kept going and going. You don't even realize I have all this stuff and I was like, wow, I'm so like fortunate to have all this stuff. Like why did I have in my mind, I want this or I want this, when I go to the store? Oh, it's so sad that I can't buy this or whatever. Like, you know, I felt like upset that I was stopping myself from buying things because I was like, why can't I buy them? Like, they're cute, I like them. But then, you know, like this list made me realize I have everything I could ever want and it's like such a blessing. And it's like, I was blind to it. It's like I couldn't see the things I owned. I made a section on my desk. I'll put a picture of it right now. And basically, these are only my sketchbooks, and basically some of them are from my sister because she didn't want them anymore, so it's like a few pages are filled in but like barely any, and like some other ones are either old ones that I've started like a few years ago or new ones. All in all, I have 9 sketchbooks, which is a lot of sketchbooks. And you know, whenever I'd be in the store, I'd be like, oh, I might get this sketchbook or this sketchbook, and I didn't even realize that I literally have basically brand new sketchbooks. It was like shocking. I think that list helped me the most. Personally, I haven't heard anyone talk about this, and I think it's a really good idea. Other than project pans, I really like the idea of DIY and, repurposing your stuff. Because, even as a kid, I've always loved doing DIYs. When I was a kid, obviously I wasn't that good. I'd make a box out of cardboard, then it would fall apart easily. I would need a box, and I just make one. Over time, if I didn't need it anymore, it'd be fine, because it was just a DIY project from trash we already had. Especially now, starting to get into Hime Gyaru. I usually wear Tsume Gyaru, and my avatar is Tsume Gyaru as well. Also interested in other type of gals, and that's the one I've been into, and I've realized how much I love the pink aesthetic. Those girls, and then their entire room is just filled with pink things. They sometimes have pink walls as well. I think it's really cute, and I really like that vibe. So I've been wanting to get pink hangers. I'll put the 2 images of the types that I'm talking about. So, they are available to me right now to buy. I was going to buy them, but I got this idea to paint the ones that I currently have, with paint. That's the project I'm working on right now as I'm recording this. And, it came out so nice. When my family was coming up and looking at what I was working on, they literally told me that they thought it was already this color. They didn't realize that I had painted over it. And I think I shouldn't buy the hangers. Yeah, maybe if I move out and I need a hanger, I can just immediately buy them the way I want them to. But there's no point of doing that now, because if I do, that means I'm gonna replace all my current hangers with the new ones. And then those ones, there's nowhere to put them, and we already have extra hangers as it is, in our closet. So I think this is a great idea, because it's gonna give me the same satisfaction, and going to improve my skills in DIY, which I love that. I love when I have a chance to do a DIY. And now I feel as I'm doing this, I'm oh, I can also paint this and that, and I'm super excited about it. So yeah, that's the DIY project I'm currently working on. When me and my sister were a kid, we used to buy a lot of LOL dolls. We got them out of the storage room, and recently I've been wanting to take a few toys at a time and clean them up and store them in our house, because the problem with the storage space in our garden is that it gets infested with insects and spiders. The toys start to get infested with the insects, and they get dirty, and some of them even got moldy. So I like doing that. I want to keep doing it until they're all gone in our house. So basically what I would do is I'd get rid of things I have here that I don't want and replace them with the toys from the storage room. There's a lot of LOL dolls. I got some of them, and I have them right now up on my desk in a little pet shop car. But basically those ones, I'm going to be painting over them. I've always wanted to actually customize and paint over them. This is perfect because I'm trying to clean them and repurpose them basically. But yeah, that's another project I'll be working on. And then I also have this jar full of stars. And my original plan was that I wanted to paint the jar space, paint it black, and then put stars and stuff like that. But I don't know if I want to do that, or I want to go with the Hime vibe and paint it pink or something. I hope there's no background noise the last episode, because I did mention that I was going to search for the microphone that I think I have stored somewhere. But right now I'm working on the DIY project, so I was scared to get paint on it or anything. So I didn't bring it for this episode, but hopefully for further episodes I'll try to get it working. This is also another short episode, but yeah, I only got 30-ish minutes of me playing Peggle. But I have a new video ready of me playing Undertale, because I have started playing it. A long time ago I started playing it, and I kind of stopped where Undyne comes in. This was years ago. I wasn't actually understanding the dialogue. I think I was just playing through it or whatever. But yeah, so I'm playing it properly, and I have an hour and a half footage. Hopefully you'll enjoy that video. I'm really excited. Longer videos, I'll definitely be planning a lot into that, because I try to record multiple times, and I don't like the recordings where I'm not really saying anything like useful or of benefit or nothing new that I found out. When I'm basically just saying like random things, I'd prefer if I want my podcast to be informative. In this episode, like feel free to talk about any DIY projects you're doing, any project plans, like any project plans for 2025, or your like experience with overconsumption. And also recently, I feel like I've been more interested in the like brands that are more expensive, because I felt like, oh, like if I'm buying 5 cheap perfumes that aren't that good quality, like I'm not saying that like if you buy something cheap it's not good quality. I'm just saying like usually the quantities of things that I buy are usually from shops that don't have that much of great quality. And I feel like at the end it sums up to the price an expensive brand that I really like, that are expensive. And you know, I've told myself, oh, like it's too expensive, but like at the same time I'm spending the same money for like products that I don't really like. So I think even over time, as like right now I don't really want to buy anything new, and basically as I'm using my products, like I'll actually, let me like explain my situation for the project plan, give you the information about my perfume one, because that's like the most one that I'm thinking of, because like, you know, I'm really interested in the new perfume Black Opium and some of the other, like some other expensive ones. I'm keeping in mind right now the perfumes that I have, and basically right now there's like 6 different perfumes, or like I don't actually have perfume, I have they're like mists. So I have like 6 different mists. One of them is literally like 10 sprays from like being finished, and then I have like another one that's like there's 10 ml in it, and then another one there's like 15 ml, and then I have 2 perfumes that are like new, and each one has like 150 ml, and then I have another mist that's like 15 ml or something. I have a lot of perfume. I'm telling you guys this information because I feel like it'd be interesting if throughout my podcast I update you guys about this, because I'm very interested to see how long it will last me. But also something that I was like kind of calculating, let's say I bought like the Black Opium, I feel like I'd use it way more often than the current mists I have, because I don't love them as much as obviously like I'd love like a new perfume that I'm interested in that I bought. Like obviously like I probably felt the same way when I like bought them at first. I was like, oh, I love this, and I used it more than I do now. But I actually do love the smells that I currently have. Like I picked them for a reason, you know. And yeah, so like yeah, I'm not like gonna pressure myself to like, oh yeah, I need to use them, spray them like 10 times a day. It's just whenever I feel like wearing perfume, I'm gonna wear them, and then I'll just like whenever I feel like wearing perfume, I'm gonna wear them, and then I'll just update you guys on how long it takes me. And I might make a video on like my wish list, like the things I want to buy, but that wish list, like I'll only be able to buy the certain thing when I've used up that category. Like let's say I said I wanted a new sketchbook, that means when I've finished all of the sketchbooks that I currently have. But yeah, I just think it's interesting to show you like the perfumes I'm currently interested in. And I feel like it's also interesting when you do things like that, because it, like let's say like some time passes and you're like, oh wait, I don't actually want that perfume anymore, and then you realize like, oh, like if you had bought that during that time and now you don't want it anymore, like that's kind of interesting. You know, you realized how like when you find something you want and you buy it immediately, how that stuff builds up, and then you have a bunch of things that you don't really like want anymore. Okay, but anyways, that's enough talk about perfumes, and I just want to say in general, let's try not to buy things. I love especially encouraging people to do DIY and reusing your items, because you know how it is with trends nowadays. The reason I'm saying this, like this is a video for myself, this is just a reminder for myself. I don't need anything, you know, and it reminds you of what your needs actually are. But I think that's going to be it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day.